because one doesn't want to give the child up, or they'll use the visitation rights of the other to cause this continuing imbalance in the process. And again, what I'm trying to do is to take a look at the various family courts around the state, because what we have found that in some courts everybody is amenable, they're very nice, they seem to want to get the best interest of the child situation to be resolved. They don't put up with the parents' difficulties. It's all about the child. In other courts, and we're very, very disturbed, and we don't want to say too much until we get all our efforts and studies together. In some courts, it is horrendous. It is kind of who you know, how much money you have, what influence you may have with one or two of the different people that are involved around the court, and this becomes a horrendous situation, and one in which we think is not doing justice to the child's care or in the best interest of the child. It has to do about a struggle between parental entities and not anything to do with the rearing of the child, and we believe it should not happen. So that is the things that we're trying to do. And in this particular case, Ms. Rubenstein's situation is one example of several that we're attempting to do, and we're going to do this over several months because it takes a pretty good effort to put together these stories. We don't do this in a professional way. It's to inform people about what's going on. It's obviously we're going from a layman's perspective in this, and we're trying to inform people as best we can, and we want to make it, everything is real, it's happening now, and some people are going through the process, so we are ourselves in the process of interviewing them, staying with them, watching what happens to them in courts. As we did not have that luxury in Ms. Rubenstein's case. We've been there after the fact. However, there are several cases we have been involved in from the beginning, over the last 5 years, in fact, and we believe that two of the cases we've been involved in, that serious civil rights have been violated, the best interest of the child has not been dealt with properly by the courts, and we're trying to figure out a way that the courts, without being too adversarial with the court system, how they may change some of the procedures, who we may identify as serious problems, and what might we may be able to do with those individuals over the coming year or two that we are producing this type of educational series. With that, I believe we're pretty close. I want to do that tape and take a look at what Miss Rubenstein's story is about. And again, these are the first in a series that we intend to bring to you over the following year and through our live series in 2011. So I hope you'll stay with us on this series. I hope you'll tune in and listen to the stories that are attached, and we thank you for our regular people who have been so good in watching and being supportive of us. You can, not only do you observe this on the television show on public access, which we're on, our shows then go up onto our site wwnlhome.org. I think you may be able to see it right here. Okay, and you'll see it across the screen. And from there, you can go to YouTube. We've had wonderful response of people who've watched some of our series. As many as 8,000 have tuned in, and we go out to some 365 stations around the country, and we are pleased at the response we're getting. And again, I want to thank you. I want to thank you for listening to the different issues that we present to you. Some of them we know that you don't agree with, and that's we don't expect you to agree with all our issues. Some of our issues are very hard. Some of them are locally here in New London, such as the Riverside Park issue, which I'm sure you're all seeing in the papers. You've seen a couple of our shows, which is a passionate issue by people who sometimes are normally on the same side. But we again thank you for tuning in, and we're going to go to our tape version of the show. Thank you very much. Good evening, and you're with Father Russ, and I have Bonnie Rubenstein here tonight with me as my guest, and I hope you folks have followed. Bonnie allowed me to interview her before on the issues that I'm dealing with family court and doing. And I just want to say thank you for tuning in and through the summer and keeping up with the shows. I hope we're doing justice with the shows that you've seen, and I hope you're reading some of the books that we've asked you to take a look at. And this issue tonight is it's a difficult issue. And I know not only for yourself and for others. I am working with some others that are going through family court, and we're talking about custody and care, just so that my viewers can get an understanding of what this is. Here's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the care, the control, and the maintenance of a child when a court may award one of the parents, following a divorce or a separation, their custody. Okay, so this is what the issue is that I'm dealing with in the courts, and Bonnie was so good. We were over your place last time to sit down, and now you're in my place.
And
right?
Thank you for having me back again. I'm happy to be here.
Oh well, these are hard issues.
It's terrific.
These are scary issues for people, and a lot of people are going through them, and a lot of people are, depending on the court they're in, and we're talking here in Connecticut, there is very different treatment, and this is what is bothering me. Okay, and so I'm kind of following a guideline that I wasn't doing last time with you, so I might get you a little nervous, but I wanna follow it, okay? Because under most circumstances, state law provides that the biological parents make all the decisions that are involved in rearing their children. Standard situation.
True.
Such as residence, education, healthcare, and the religious upbringing of the child. Parents are not required to secure legal rights to make these decisions if they are married and listed as the child on the child's birth certificate. It's automatic.
Correct.
Okay?
Yep.
This is what automatically happens. I tell my kid, I still, at my age, tell my kids what to do. However, and I'm divorced several times. However, if there is a disagreement about which parent has a right to make these decisions, or if government officials believe that the parent is unfit to make decisions, well, then family court or juvenile court will intervene and determine custody. District and state courts, this is important, districts and state courts base their decision on state laws which vary greatly from state to state. They're not consistent across the United States. If a case challenges the constitutionality of a state law, or in rare instances the state's jurisdiction, its rights to decide the case, then the U.S. Supreme Court may issue an opinion.
And also you find, especially in Connecticut, that even with the law